Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Drawing Down the Stars. I'm Snappy, and thank you for joining me today for another lovely live tarot reading. So thank you all for coming out. This is going to be a lot of fun. So for tonight, I thought we would begin by just discussing a little bit of the astrology as we usually do. So to begin, we have the sun in Gemini today, which is really interesting, bright energy. It's energy of intellect and growth and communications, about social interactions, a time for expanding in these kinds of spheres. We also have the moon moving into Sagittarius, which is really fun energy. This is going to bring a lot of adventure and freedom, of dreams, of manifesting, and of growth, right? Of really pushing yourself to higher levels. Okay. So going to be so much fun with all of this incredible energy coming in here. And we also have returning energy of Mercury in Gemini, which we've been seeing throughout most of this week. So that's still that like big communication, right? About connections and really forging in that direction. Another new energy to look out for that we have coming in from the astrology is that Uranus is moving into Taurus. And this is going to bring a huge amount of like intense change and rocking of foundations and of cores and rethinking of things and really continuing with this shift that we've been seeing in the energies lately about this building, about growth, and about changing our physical and our material reality. So really interesting energy when I connected to when I was meditating last night, creating the stream. And the message that I was thinking on was just this idea about dreaming about how you want your future to be and dreaming yourself out of any situation that you find uncomfortable, right? And learning to flow with these dreams and to take those dreams and to allow them to move you into new and better directions, to really grow and expand yourself, right? So this really sets in with this kind of moon in Sagittarius energy and this Uranus energy in Taurus, right? You have the ability. This has been an ongoing theme. We can really transform. It's just about picking ourselves up and taking this energy and running with it. So with that being said, I just want to give a shout out to everyone in the chat here. So let's give a shout out to Ruby's Fishing Adventure, Nikosmas, Gandhi, Kata, Mother Rhea. Thank you all so much for coming, and much love to you all. So if everyone can just take a second and give me a like here. Likes really help these live streams. They're kind of the lifeblood of the channel. They really boost us in the algorithm. So if you could take 2 seconds to do that, it would mean the world. And if anyone is ever interested in a private meeting with me, if you go into the description, you'll find my email, snappydts@gmail.com, and you can send me an email and we can talk about that. So today I wanted to bring in another new Sortes book. I've been having fun flipping through, and I figured since we had Marlowe, Dr. Faustus, the other day, and I had mentioned this book, I thought it was time to bring out Goethe and their copy, their version of Faust. This is widely considered to be the definitive version of the Faust story. I love both, but Goethe has... Marlowe is amazing in his own way. I wonder how great Marlowe would have been had he written more. Goethe is the Shakespeare of the German language, one of the greatest writers of all time. Few are as inspired as Goethe. Few works have inspired me more than this particular book here, Faust, one of the greatest books ever written, in my opinion. So we're going to have some fun asking Goethe to send us some messages. So for those of you unfamiliar, we do a version of divination called the Sortes, which is a type of bibliomancy that was popularized in the Greco-Roman tradition. And you invoke the spirit of the muses and you ask them to guide your hand and to send you a message. And you read the line out of context and you interpret it using your intuition. So muses, please guide our hand and send us a message. What do we need to learn? How do we move forward in a positive, hopeful, and loving way. All right. Nay, tell me, why this queer parade of antics, this gibbering witchcraft running wild and frantic? For I have known and hated long enough the charlatanry of all this senseless stuff. Oh my gosh, we've been rebuked. The devil rebukes us. This is from the words of Faust to Mephistopheles, actually. So this is Faust rebuking Mephistopheles. Interesting. So funny. Okay. Nay, tell me, why this queer parade of antics, this gibbering witchcraft, running wild and frantic? For I have known and hated long enough the charlatanry of the senseless stuff. I think this is really interesting and a lot of fun. And the muse is telling me to take this in the form of antiphrasis and to remember, right? This is hilarious. This is coming from the voice of, we all like to say that. Anyone who's got done with witchcraft at some point, you're going to be like, oh yeah, none of this works until it's working. And you're screaming and you're shouting this to the devil himself, as Faust is doing in this case. So isn't that beautiful? What a fun sortes. All right, thank you, Goethe. So I think the message is just to embrace the magic, embrace the absurdity. Don't be afraid of this kind of stuff. If you call it down, it's going to show up, right? You ask for the devil, well, he may just come say hi. All right. Going to go back today to another favorite, Lord Byron, another person who's deeply inspired by the muse. I just want to remind people too that if you're going to do this yourself, to take a piece of literature that you find deeply inspiring, created by someone who was deeply inspired, right? That's the most important thing. But you can use really any book. It's invoking the sense of randomness that is the true magic. So let's ask Byron. Muses, guide our hand. Send us a message. What do we need to know? How can we best move forward? And when the tumult dwindled to a calm, I left him practicing the 100th psalm. And when the tumult dwindled to a calm, I left him practicing the 100th psalm. That's so interesting to me immediately, because those of us who are into a lot of this comparative mythology will recognize the Psalms as extremely Bacchic, harp music, inspired by a lot of the Orphic magic and eroticism that was coming out of that Hellenistic world. I got to look this up. Okay, so let's see. What is Psalm 100? What is Psalm 100? Okay. Psalm 100, just for fun. Shout for joy to the Lord, all the earth. Worship the Lord with gladness. Come before him with joyful song. Know that the Lord is God. It is he who made us, and we are his. We are his people, the sheep of his pasture. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his court with praise. Give them thanks and his praise his name. For the Lord is good and his love endures forever. And his faithfulness continues through all generation. Well, that's incredibly Bacchic, bhakti, kind of fervent love and joy for God, praiseful song. Wow, powerful, powerful. So if we go back, and when the tumult dwindled to a calm, I left him practicing the 100th psalm. This is very interesting. When all the fighting is over, when all of the conflict dies down, when all of the intensity comes to a halt, what is the main thing that we all should be focusing on? It's that adoration, right? That profound magical love, that pursuit of joy through song and through dance, in that praising spirit. Ooh, that's fun. It's really, really beautiful stuff. So now we're going to hop over here to our Oracle deck. I'm going to pull a card from the Fairy Oracle. This one's just fun. It was a great gift. And I love that kind of fairy energy, the energy of this kind of hidden and forgotten, those energies all around us, but yet just out of reach, yet still affecting. All right, let's see. What do the fairy energies have to say? Oh, wow, we got motivation. Okay, so motivation. When spring approaches, the flower fairies urge you to spring into action. If there's something you've been merely thinking about doing, they say, get busy, do it. Isn't that very fitting so far for this reading? This energy of getting busy, of creating. And it's perfect for spring, for this burst of growth and transformation, of love and joy, and of really just moving into it. So take advantage of this energy, move with it, transform, grow, and be inspired. Wow. Love to see it. Love to see it. So now we're going to get into our tarot reading proper. So first I'm going to cleanse our cards. We're going to invoke the spirit of the muses to come and bring us inspiration. We're going to ask the Great Mother to come down and to cleanse this energy and to just inspire us in our actions here. Okay. So take my deck. I always use Crowley and Leda Frieda Harris's Thoth Tarot. My favorite deck. It's just one that has spoken to me, but you can use any deck that you find to be inspiring. Today I'm going to use the Saturn Square reading. This invokes the energy of Saturn. It allows us to examine, to take our life and expose it on a plate and examine its individual parts and say, okay, where are the conflicts? How do we fix the situation, and how do we evolve in a way where we're moving in flow? Okay, so the first card is always our most important card, our center of the square. So let's see what we got here. The most central energy of the day. Isn't this very apt? And isn't this beautiful energy? Gain in the material, transformative growth, right? The 9 is the most powerful, expansive number in the deck. It's about to explode. To have this into that material reality, this is about expansive growth, about just embracing that transformation and riding the wave. You know, at this moment today, I'm telling you, I definitely feel it on my channel with almost, last I checked, the live I did with Dr. Ammon and Neil was sitting at over 23K. So in you know, just under a day. So definitely a time for rapid expansion and growth. Wow. Let us continue. So on our right of our gain, oh, this is very interesting and very apt energy as well. This material gain, this transformation, this is coming in incredibly fast. We got this energy of the wands in 8. That's the swiftness, this building momentum, right? That's reaching up to that point of explosion. So this is about your desires, that fiery passion coming in this transformative force, like a force of wind, right? That's going to come and really set things ablaze. So when we're connecting it to this gain, it's really this frantic energy of transformation and growth all at once in this intensity. All right, let's see what's happening on the other side to get a full balance. Beautiful. 6. Wow. 869 or 896. Interesting energy, right? 6, most balanced number in our suit, in our series of 10, right? In the water, this is all about love and in connections, about our emotions. This is about being in incredible balance, about being fulfilled, in loving fulfillment and having all of your needs met, being in community with others to a point where everyone is fulfilling and sharing in this mutual love and mutual gain. Wow. So this is that energy that's really facilitating this growth. It's all these people coming together and supporting one another, and really that allowed this expansive explosion sort of to happen, you know. And it's also going to allow us to persist through this energy in a truly positive way. Okay, let's continue. So we have the 8, prudence. Interesting energy. So the 8 of discs, right? We just saw the 8 in swiftness and fire. In the discs, this is more refined energy. It's practical energy. It's energy of building our tower. It's about, if you look here, it's about tending and maintaining, about looking upon what you have built and making sure that it is growing in a truly expansive direction, right? One that is solid. So this is really about taking that time to prune and to protect, to set boundaries, to be in this expansive growth, but to make sure that your growth is following according to plan. You know, one of the things you see often is that people invest way too much into this kind of growth, and their towers fall, they explode, right? This is sustained growth. This is steady, helpful. This is the tree that produces fruit. As long as you tend the tree and you water it and you show it love, it'll produce fruit and continue to grow. All right, let's continue on the other side here. Interesting. Now we have the 7 of discs, failure. So the 7 of discs, right? This is that energy of, there was an attempt to expand from the balance of the 6, but there was a failure in this expansion. So in whichever direction that there was an attempt to grow, it wasn't able to. The energy was kind of stagnated, and then there was something that shocked it. There was a failure to expand, right? And if you look at the card, you can see this clearly because you have this out of balance set of 3 that's balancing upon a point, right? That's representative of this failure. It's about to tip. It's just a question of when, not if, you know? So that's that energy that we're dealing with here, connected to this prudence, right? This is, there have been failures. There have been many failures in the past, and there have been issues, right? Conflicts that have been going. And this is what's resulting in this incredible level of prudence in this building. It's understanding that there have been attempts to expand beyond this foundation and that failed. But the foundation persisted, and now we're coming back to a similar position again, where we have this tree that is growing and is producing fruit, right? And always moving from the 6 to the 7 to the 8, this is a dangerous climb. It was succeeded, but could easily fall. So this is about being really in that prudent energy, being aware of your past failures, reflecting upon those actions, and seeing the other times in which maybe you were not able to expand beyond your solid foundations. So let's continue here and see what's happening on the other side. Yeah. And we know what the key issue was now. The key issue before with these failures that is not present in the current prudent energy is this 10 of swords, right? 10 is that expansive cycle ending energy, right? Destructive force, over applied force in its finality, into the suit of swords, into that focused air of the mind, right? This is ruinous thought, believing one's a failure, unable to accomplish, you know? So this is a self-fulfilling prophecy. So that was the failure from before, overthinking, overanalyzing, being self-critical. And what I'm seeing here is that a key to this prudent energy is going to be in being prudent in one's thoughts, learning to focus those thoughts and to not become overwhelmed in anxiety. You know, overthinking prevents action, and action is needed. If you do not tend your tree, if you do not water, it will not grow, right? And if you're too busy worrying about how to help the tree in the best way, then you never will. So really interesting energy to show up here. Okay. Let's continue to our bottom row. So we have our 2 of Wands, Dominion. Interesting. You know, Dominion, the 2, this is incredibly powerful energy. This is that ability to go to war or to create through love. That passionate drive for connecting with the other. And the other, right, this can be beautiful or it can be violent. And it's this force of just, it's bound to expand and multiply. It's bound to create intensity. It's bound to bring growth. In which direction? It's your choice. You're in charge of this energy. So the question is, what are you seeking to do? Are you seeking to fight? Are you seeking to make love? You know, and it's intent it's attached at the bottom here to that center card of the 9. So the reason we are able to have this incredible gain is this passionate drive and this control of our passionate desire, this ability to focus our will. And it's really interesting. We'll get to it later because there's some more stuff going on at the top there. Wow. But yeah, next to that passion, we have our Hangman energy. Beautiful card. Those of you who watched the stream earlier with Dion, Jevim, and Ryan 7 and I, we had this kind of energy showing up when we were talking just about some of the sacred imagery and whatnot, and some of that solar imagery, right? Like Odin is this kind of hangman energy. Hangman energy is really that energy of reflection and of change, of active change, of doing the work, of actually going through the process of learning. But you have to, it requires some suffering. There is hard work. There must be a sacrifice, right? There has to be a transformation. There has to be some kind of confrontation with the self in order for this energy to come through, you know? And the hangman, it's like you do it to yourself too, right? It's that refining personal critical action and taking the personal changes needed, you know? And you're going to have the power to do so with this dominion energy, this passionate power energy. Now's the time to engage in these kind of self-critical but growth, right? You can see clearly and you have the drive to do it, you know? So often the first step to breaking a routine is setting a new one, right? Just going out there and doing it, taking that intense position, you know? You just have to stop thinking, act, and the transformation will come and the growth will come. But now is the time for this transformative action, and it's going to be personal and it's going to be direct and it's going to be painful, but it's coming in. Final energy of the deck, or the spread. This is usually a really transformative card and really revealing, and no different today, right? We have the Ace of Discs. This is all about new beginnings, new growth, new transformation in our physical reality, in the earth itself. Expansive opportunities, new businesses, new loves, new friendships, new opportunity that are manifesting and growing in a real, physical, intangible sense. This is a really powerful energy to see, and it's an energy we saw earlier as well. You know, it was showing up before as the center element, the main conflict. It was almost like earlier in the week, it was this energy that we were conflicting with. How do we manifest this growth? How do we contend? How do we bring this into our lives? And now it's here. Now it's shown up. Now you have these opportunities. The growth has come. The changes are here. The new beginnings are here. You've taken a leap. You are breaking free of old and moving into the new. Wow. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop my camera down here so you can get a full view of the Saturn Square spread. And we're going to do the up and down reading and the cross diagonal readings. So we're going to start on this side here. And I'm going to go up and down and start in the middle. So we have our 9 of Wands, swiftness, connected to this failure and connected to the hangman. Yeah, wow. So this is really interesting energy. What I'm seeing here is that there is a desire that's coming in for passion and for connection, and it is going to force us to take that transformative action, okay? And it needs to happen, or there is going to be a failure. There is going to be a collapse here, you know? So there is still potential for failure. But I also see this overcoming of the failure. And that overcoming of the failure is through this embrace of that passion to force us to change. It's almost saying, like, do you want something? Do you want this beautiful, amazing thing? Well, you now have to put yourself in a different energy in order to get yourself to that point, to bring that passion into your life, whether that is a new job or a lover or or money, if you want these things, they're going to require change. You clearly see the change that is needed, and you need to throw yourself into it in that passionate way, right? That's how you avoid the failure, through change, through not repeating the old cycles which already weren't able to expand. Okay. If we go now to our middle card, right, we have our 9 connected to our 2 of wands and to our ruin, right? This is the central thing here. The theme is this idea of passion over minds. That's the theme for us right now. Overthinking is causing ruinous, destructive energy, and our passionate energy is in this expansive growth, this ability to assert our will, to take that leap, to bring our dreams into fruition. We're manifesting and creating them. The only thing that is holding us back, the only limit upon this expansive growth, is our own personal limitations that we place upon ourselves, our own ruinous, disastrous thoughts that say we're not good enough. We can't manifest. We can't grow. This is it. We have to fail, you know? So really embrace instead this 2, which is going to continue to fire this expansive growth. You know, if you can overcome this overthinking, this is going to just get even bigger, even more insane. Wow. So now let's move to our final row here. Central theme again is this loving connection, this community of friends and of lovers, of people in your life, family as well, you know, deep, fulfilling, rewarding connections that are mutually fulfilling and self-sustaining. The waters flow from one cup into the other. They sustain themselves. You know, there's a shared loving connection that's bringing this incredible pleasure, this joy, this hope, this support, that emotional support that is needed in order to be able to maintain and to grow, that steady growth of prudence, you know, watering the tree, collecting the fruit, doing the hard due diligence, and manifesting in these new opportunities, right? Wow. This is really about you. We really need to connect to those core community of friends, those incredible, strong friends and relationships that we have in our lives. They're our emotional support, our foundation that is going to help us to upgrade and to expand from this already solid foundation. Wow. Now we're going to do the diagonals. So first I'm going to go this way. 9 of discs and prudence, right? So expanding upon this tower, growing in this incredibly expansive, magical way, right? We're almost at the top, and now we have this gain. So it's like the sky is the limit. The only thing that's needed is this continued change, right? Putting in the right habits, being disciplined in your action, being thoughtful and controlled and wise. You know, the hangman is the person who does the work to develop a skill. You know, no skill is just comes out of nowhere. Mastery of self is required. It requires serious dedication, a sacrifice of time, and time is life, right? And that's what we're seeing here, is that in order to really facilitate this, to take full advantage of this energy, there is a growth moment needed. There's always a growth moment needed, of course, but now especially so. This is a time to think upon the self. You have this ability, you know what you need to do, and this is about taking charge, being in that disciplined action, you know, being almost like a parent to yourself, right? Beautiful. Okay. The last diagonal we're going to do is this way. So, yeah, we're coming out of this failure, right? There was something that didn't materialize. There was an attempt to expand from a solid foundation that fell. And this was hard and it was hurtful. You know, there was incredible opportunity on the table. You know, we thought that this was going to be expansive. It wasn't. But don't let these kind of failures hold you back, because connected out of that failure, even, it's almost as a result of this failure, there was a shift in actions, there was a shift in thought, there was a shift in direction. And it was this failure that led to the incredible gain that is being seen now. Right? Every action has a reaction. And now, right, there's a new potential cycle, there's a new opportunity to expand upon that foundation. This opportunity hasn't been lost. And this was not an utter failure. It was a learning lesson that facilitated this gain, that brought about this transformative energy. And now there are new opportunities. So these new opportunities need to be seized. This energy of growth and expansion needs to be taken advantage of and embraced, right? This is difficult energy. No one likes change. Often, our greatest success is our greatest weakness. And we have to remember this, right? Expanding out of what is comfortable can be painful, even if it's what you desire, even if it's what you need. And stop thinking. Just stop thinking. Stop worrying about it. Embrace it. Embrace that loving, passionate energy, that dominion that we keep seeing, and put your heart and soul into this work. The only thing that's holding you back is this ruinous energy, action, discipline, connecting to your friends, those deep, loving people who are supportive. You know who they are. That's what I see here. Wow. Beautiful energy, everyone. Beautiful, beautiful energy. That was so much fun. I hope it all resonated with you. So we'll give another shout out to everyone here in the chat. So shout out to Eric, to Valerie. Good to see you. Daddy's Magic Monkey. Thank you for coming. So beautiful, beautiful energy. To end the stream today, we're going to do another sortes. So since we were having fun with the magical world of Faust in Goethe, we're going to go back to Goethe, and we will ask the muses to inspire us. So muses, please guide our hand and send us an inspiring message to leave the stream with. What do we need to take with us forward? How do we transform in a positive, truly magical way? Okay. He is my friend. The brew will suit him well. I grant him all your kitchen can produce. Draw then your circle, speak your magic spell, and serve a bumper of the secret juice. He is my friend. The brew will suit him well. I grant him all your kitchen can produce. Draw then your circle, speak your magic spell, and serve a bumper of the secret juice. Well, I think that's a very clear message, my friends. I think this is about doing ritual magic, connecting to the ancestors, to the daimonic spirits, Draw your circle, cast your spell, and leave out some fruit juice or some other kind of magical offering, connect to those spirits, leave something. Remember that the gods are your ancestors, and that communication happens if it's an exchange. It's a reciprocal exchange at its most basic, right? You give them light and sweet smells and good tasting food and drink, and they'll reward you with great communication and beautiful visions and expansive knowledge. Wow. So this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for tuning in. If everyone could just please take 2 seconds to like this video, it really does boost the algorithm. It's such a huge, important thing for live streams. For whatever reason, YouTube really favors the likes. So that is the most helpful thing that you can do for me in the channel. Also, if you're interested in receiving a private reading, if you go into the description below, you will see my email, snappyddts@gmail.com. You can send me an email there, and we can talk about setting up a private reading. So thank you so much, everyone, and I will be back tomorrow for another daily tarot reading. Thank you so much, everyone. Peace and love. Take care.